Alright, so today we're diving into a story that's got me thinking about the complexities of business deals and personal passions. David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, had a dream, a summer camp dream. You see, he wanted to buy a summer camp just north of New York City, a place that held special memories for him and his family. This camp, Mohawk, was a place where his kids had spent their summers, and he wanted to keep it going. He was willing to invest $68 million in it as a personal project, which is pretty impressive, right? But, as we all know, dreams don't always come true, and Zaslav's didn't. A private equity firm, Fitzwalter Capital Partners, outbid him at the bankruptcy auction, snatching the camp away for a staggering $120,750,000. Now, what makes this story so fascinating is the personal connection Zaslav had with the camp. He wasn't just buying a piece of property, he was buying a piece of his childhood. This raises a deeper question: how much does personal history and emotion factor into business decisions? In my opinion, it's a lot more than we give it credit for. When we make business decisions, we often think about the numbers, the profits, the bottom line. But what about the stories behind the numbers? What about the people who are affected by these decisions? Personally, I think that Zaslav's bid was more than just a financial move. It was a way for him to reconnect with his past, to preserve a piece of his family's history. But, as we saw, the market had other plans. This raises a question: when personal passion and financial interests clash, who wins? From my perspective, it's a reminder that in the world of business, emotions can be both a strength and a weakness. On one hand, they can drive us to pursue our passions and make bold moves. On the other hand, they can cloud our judgment and lead us to make decisions that don't align with our long-term goals. What this really suggests is that in the world of business, we need to find a balance between our hearts and our heads. We need to be passionate about what we do, but we also need to be rational and strategic in our approach. This raises a deeper question: how can we strike that balance? What makes this really interesting is the idea that personal history and emotion can have such a significant impact on business decisions. It makes me wonder, how many other business deals are being made based on personal connections and emotions, and what does that mean for the future of business? One thing that immediately stands out is the irony of the situation. Zaslav, who is in the business of entertainment, found himself in a situation where his personal passion was outbid by a private equity firm. It's a reminder that in the world of business, anything can happen, and sometimes, the most unexpected outcomes can arise. What many people don't realize is that this story is not just about a summer camp. It's about the human element behind every business decision. It's about the stories and the people who are affected by these decisions. So, the next time you hear about a business deal, take a step back and think about the people and the stories behind it. What this really suggests is that in the world of business, we need to be more mindful of the human element. We need to recognize that every business decision has a personal impact, and we need to strive to make decisions that are not only financially sound but also emotionally responsible. In conclusion, David Zaslav's summer camp dream fizzling out is a reminder that in the world of business, personal passion and financial interests can clash. It's a reminder that we need to find a balance between our hearts and our heads, and that we need to be more mindful of the human element behind every business decision. So, the next time you hear about a business deal, think about the people and the stories behind it. What this really suggests is that in the world of business, we need to be more empathetic and understanding. We need to recognize that every business decision has a personal impact, and we need to strive to make decisions that are not only financially sound but also emotionally responsible.